Hello everyone, it's Nicola here. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to talk today about triaging your business. If your online business isn't doing as well as it could do, I wanted to tell you about two of the things that I did when I first started my digital marketing agency to get clients. There was two kind of triage. I don't know if you know this, but Clicks and Leads started as a local digital marketing agency initially. I did all the usual things. I did all the networking stuff. I joined my local chamber and I went to every lunch and breakfast going. I had small children at the time, so those are the only things I could get to. Two of the things I did to get new clients locally worked an absolute treat, and it occurred to me today that they might be useful for you too. The first thing was to give people a website audit. It was a lovely thing to offer because people were always, oh, okay, yeah, that's great, because they wanted you to have a look at their website, thinking they could sell you something. And if I met someone at a networking event and they gave me their card, which they invariably did, I'd do a website audit, I'd record my screen as I was talking over the audit, and then I would upload it unlisted on YouTube and send them the link. There's actually a tick list of 10 things I look for in any website, but usually I just get to the first 2 or 3 in the time I had to do an audit because I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes. The other thing I'm going to share with you today is how to triage your own website if you've got an online business of any kind, or even if you've got a real world business and you want to work out why the online bit of it isn't performing as well as you'd like. So stick around to the end for that bit. Here are the first few things I look for in any website audit. Is it immediately apparent when you first arrive at the website what this business does? Is there an ethical bribe, something that the business is offering you in order to get your name and email? It can be as simple as a discount voucher for your first order or your first purchase. Don't just offer a newsletter. That never works nowadays. You have to get creative and think about your ideal client and think about what they'd want and what they would give up their name and email for. Is it immediately obvious what you want the person to do after they've put their name and email in? Is your navigation simple, for example? Is there a big fat call to action button? Are you telling them, this is what I recommend you do next on your website? The next thing I do is check to see whether they've got Google Analytics in and I can do that by looking at the background source code of any front page of a website. If they've got Google Analytics installed, then I would tell them that, and I would say I'd love to have a look at their analytics if they want to take it a step further. And they can do that by adding me to their analytics as a read-only observer. I look to see whether the website is selling the lead product first. The lead product is the thing that they want people to buy, which will turn people from a subscriber to a customer. They shouldn't be trying to sell you 2, 3, 5, 10 things all at once, because that will just confuse any potential purchaser. After they've opted in, it's a good idea to make the thank you page the page where you suggest that they buy the lead product and explain why that would help them. Then the customer's got a simple choice, yes or no. And if they say no, you've still got their name and email to follow up with. When I send over the link, that's usually enough to get people to want to set up a consultation. At that consultation, I can either work out if people want to do their own marketing or whether they want someone to do their marketing for them. And that's what brought in my first customers for Clicks and Leads. One of my biggest successes doing this was when I did a website audit for someone and they asked me to do a website audit for one of their clients. And it turns out that it was a private bank in London. And I was telling them that their picture on their website made it look like they were advertising a prison block. Apparently, they all had a jolly good laugh at that. But the next thing was I found myself on a Zoom call with the entire board of the bank. And then I ended up going up to London to secure a contract for a fantastic 1-year marketing contract with a very generous ad spend. Okay, so let's now talk about the triage session I give people when they've got an online business and they don't know what's wrong with it. The first thing you've got to get through your head when you're working online is that it generally follows the rule of thumb of direct marketing. Only 1 to 3% of the people who see your offer at any stage are going to actually take action. So that helps you set your expectations, and it also helps you identify where things are going wrong. If you know that every 1 to 3 people in 100 are the only ones who are going to take action on your sales page, you need to work out how many people need to see your sales page in order to make a purchase. If you know that only 1 to 3% of people who actually come to your website are ever going to put their name and email in to subscribe for your ethical bribe, then you now know how many people you need to get to your website. If you know that only 1 to 3% of people who see anything about you online are ever going to click through to your website, it gives you an indication of the numbers of people you need to be reaching. That's one of the reasons why I've fired up my YouTube channel again, because it seems to be the place at the moment where not only the most people are hanging out, but the most people take action. It's almost as if all of the social media platforms have educated people to be more visually orientated, and that's where they're flocking to TikTok, to YouTube, to Instagram. The places where traditionally it was all about writers and writing don't seem to have so much appeal for the general public, that is. So if you know it's going to take 1,000 people or more seeing your business online to click through to your website, and then out of that 1,000, it's only going to be between 10 and 30 people who actually take action on your website at all, then you've got an idea of the kind of numbers you need to get in front in order to be able to whittle it down to the amount of people who might actually buy your product or service. So my burning question for you now is, what's the easiest, fastest, most fun way that you're going to be able to get your business in front of thousands of people at a time? It's a lot easier, by the way, if you're able to afford to pay for advertising, because then you can create the content you would have created and just prayed, and then you can boost it using advertising, particularly on Facebook and Instagram. But you're much more likely to get a great click-through rate on your ads if your content's engaging anyway. If you'd like me to have a look at your website or to triage your business, literally just put your name, business name, and URL in the comments below this, and then I might start doing those on a regular basis. I love looking at people's websites and I love looking at people's businesses. I really love helping business owners to market their business better online. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And in the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow.